My son-in-law found her after, he thought that there were just fireworks going on outside and she wasn't responding to his questioning, did you hear the fireworks? And then he came and found her.
A young mother of two is killed by a stray bullet while sitting in her own home.
And now her family is demanding answers in this heartbreaking tragedy.
Tia Ewing has more.
A Zion mother was reading the Bible to her infant when a stray bullet traveled into the home. She died at the hospital, and now her parents want justice.
You totally transformed the lives of my son-in-law and my granddaughters, and they'll never know their mother again. And it's heartbreaking because she wasn't out and about. She's in her home.
23-year-old Melanie Yates was here in her home reading scripture to her youngest daughter when a stray bullet traveled inside.
For my daughter to be shot in the head while she's at home with her babies and she's reading the Bible to her youngest 7-month-old, getting ready for bed, and it's so unreal. We couldn't even believe it.
The parents of Melanie Yates say their daughter was pronounced dead at the hospital. Zion police say Yates was not the intended target Sunday night. Several rounds were fired in the area near the 2800 block of Enoch Avenue. Shell casings were found nearby, but still a suspect has not been tracked down.
Please, if you have any information regarding this issue, please don't hesitate or feel fear to speak to the police and give them all the information that you have.
Sean and Lamb Calderon say they miss their daughter's spirit. Melanie loved God and aspired to have more children with her husband Daniel, so she put her profession as a registered nurse on hold.
Solving this case won't bring her back, but it will lead to our healing and for closure for us that love Lainey.
The family has started a GoFundMe that has raised well over $47,000. But what they really want, they want witnesses to come forward and tell what they know. From Zion, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
Hello to all the beautiful people in the world, and hopefully good people. If you aren't a good person, you should really consider being one, because the world can desperately use more good people. If I hadn't said who I am, I'm Saniqua, and thanks for stopping by to see what I have to say. I started this video out with showing a news report on a young lady, 23 years old, by the name of Melanie Yates, who unfortunately has passed away. And I just, seen this report, and when I was watching it, it was a Fox 32 reporting, and it just brought some things to mind. When you see me look down, like, I'm totally looking at myself, and I need to stop looking at myself and look in the camera. But anyway, I just wanted to start out before I go into anything else. I just want to say condolences and prayers goes out to Melanie Yates' family. And I pray that the Lord bless her soul on her transition to the other side. And that's just one way you can never ever think about leaving this earth. You would never ever expect to go the way that this young lady was taken out. Like, she was a 23-year-old, angelic of a mother, wife, daughter, and friend to those who knew her closely, was tragically hit by a stray bullet while inside of her home during a shooting going on outside of her home. The bullet found its way through the walls and hit her. Supposedly, they said she was reading the Bible to her two young children before putting them to bed, before she was shot. Her husband found her and took her to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead, because that's supposedly where she died. She died at the hospital. She didn't die at the house, according to that news report, if you listen to it like I did, but sometimes, we mix up things. But the family is seeking justice, and they very well should be seeking justice, because that's just insane that you can't be safe in your own home without a bullet coming in your life, or people being like crazy, like drunk driving. I've seen like people hold cars and trucks in people's houses. Like, it's nuts out here. The devil's always busy, which that's one of the things that came to my mind. But we'll start out with this first because I wanted to first, give respect to the family before I become objective, because I'm always trying to, like, weigh things out and connect the dots. But how do they know that Melanie was reading the Bible before she was shot? Like, did her husband find her with the Bible in her hand? Or, like, was she leaning over the Bible? Was there blood on the Bible? Like, how do they know that she was reading the Bible? I know she has two young children. One of them looked like maybe 3 years old. I don't know if the kid was like, you know, mommy was reading the Bible. I don't know if they talk that well, but it's like I thought it was odd that the reporting from Fox News would point out that she was reading the Bible. Like, I just thought that was odd. So that was the first thing that kind of poked at me. And then another thing, like I said, the first thing that came to mind when I was watching it was like the devil is a lie, because I feel like they taking a jab, with this news reporting. I feel like, you know, it wasn't released, just by happenstance. You would hope that the mother called into the news station and was like, my child, has been fatally shot and died, and we want justice, and we need you guys to report this so that it can help our case. You will hope that the mother called in, and that, because people get shot every day, people die every day, people got, kids that die and they don't get any exposure, like Jelani Day, okay? Poor mom been out here trying to get, shit figured out for her kid, and is having a hard time, getting exposure. So, to me, like, when I see certain things happen, like, I always think kind of like the opposite of what I'm seeing. So, but so like I said, the devil's always busy. That was the first thing that came to mind. You got minions everywhere, okay? I mean, you got minions at your job, minions hopefully not in your house, but within the family. You know what I'm saying? There's forces operating even within the church walls, okay? And just all over the world in general. Like, so you have to be vigilant and protect yourself, okay? Guard your heart, your mind, your spirit, like you have to. But in this story right here, I know that this beast system don't let anything leak and, come to the view of the masses or the viewer, the consumer, without a plan or agenda or a reason. Like, they don't just like let stuff come out there, in air for no reason. Like, so side note, it is a side note. Um, After all these years, you would think that they would have figured out a way to bulletproof people houses and places of residency. Like, that's something that should be thought of. That would be a very lucrative business if they can figure out how to do that. People, they figured out how to weatherproof so-called a home to save money or energy, but they weatherproof to the point where, your house will be blown away during a hurricane, tornado, or a big windstorm, or not flood during a rainstorm. So I don't know how far that weatherproofing goes, but it would be nice to have, like I said, bulletproofing as an option for people residents, okay? Because it's crazy, that in your home is supposed to be a place of refuge and security, you know? So not if you don't have bulletproof walls, because that's what happened to this young lady, this mother of two. A bullet took her out. And it's crazy too, because my man, he always say to me, he always say, like, all the murder investigations lead to this place when we driving past bad neighborhoods. And I'm like, babe, murder can happen anytime. A shootout can go down anywhere. Like, it's not just here that isn't safe. Like, anywhere cannot be safe, but you can't live in fear. You know what I'm saying? God's not giving us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. It's like one of my favorite verses. So, you know, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. But in this case, I don't think it was her time. But then again, you just never know. I mean, what I posted a story prior to this last night about a rap artist named Julio was shot at over 100 times, supposedly, right? Emptied his whole clip, shooting back at the people, and was only grazed on his lip with a bullet. Like, he's still alive, okay? Out here acting like, it's no blessing that he's still alive. Like, that's gonna be like first thing he says, like, thank God I'm still here, but that's not what I heard out of his mouth. But Melanie Yates is dead because of a freaking stray bullet that wasn't even meant for her. So I can't say that, everybody, go in their time, or, God got me for a reason. Like, like I said, some things just is what it is, but in this case, it's just, like, crazy. So, but my pickle is with Fox. Okay, really, it's with Fox. Okay, so let's keep going. Let me see. Another thing is that this is another thing that stood out was that the shooting that took place on her block was on the block of 2100 in Enoch. So once I heard Enoch too, like, not only the fact that she was shot reading the Bible, okay, but when Enoch, like, Enoch, that's a biblical term. So I don't really know much about Enoch because I just don't. But I've seen it in passing in my life, and I'm like, I've seen that it supposedly was a part of a Bible that was removed, and it's like some kind of mystery behind it, whatever. But I never really looked into it. But the fact that I see this Fox News reporting, it was actually 2 weeks ago that it happened, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, Enoch, that's I'm look into that because that's strange, right? So I look it up, and it says Enoch, of course, a biblical term, and apparently it's a name that people use to give their children, to give people, because a lot of sites that was coming up when I was looking for the meaning behind Enoch was like name sites, trying to tell me about that. But I'm like, nah, I need to see Christianity sites. I need to see Bible sites. I want to see what they got to say about the meaning behind Enoch. So I did find, that in Hebrew, it's a different word, which is like probably Chanakh or Chanakh. I'm not sure. My English term, yeah, Chanakh probably because it's Chanoch, but it's probably Kuknak. I don't know, or not. You just never know. But it means in Hebrew experienced or dedicated, like a devoted worshiper. And it supposedly is derived from Welsh of Wales, and that, not relation to Hebrew, of course. Israelites, Welsh and Wales, that's something else. That's ain't that Britain or somewhere? I don't know what it is. Sound like it. But this is the name in the Bible of Cain's eldest son. Okay, they say that we can find this in Genesis 4:17, which we know Cain is famous for killing his brother. But I guess things looked up for him after that because he had a family, he had kids and stuff. So Enoch was his eldest son that he built a city for to the east of Eden in the land of Nod and named it after his son Enoch, which was known as the first city. Now, I say supposedly known as the first city because um, it was like Enoch wasn't recorded in the Bible before 18th century. So before, everything was stolen from the Israelites in Africa, and taken over to wherever, people go and, rewrite stuff in history back in the day. That's when I guess this was added into the Bible. But Enoch lived, this is what they say, Enoch lived 365 years. Years. And was, and people in the Bible lived longer. I know it's like all made up stories, supposedly that's what people say. But, and it's funny because people are like, why people live longer? And my answer is because their faith was stronger. Their faith was stronger and they consecrated themselves. They focused on God and, the land around them, their family, the virtues and things like that. And they were fruitful. They did things that God wanted to do. And because they did these things, they were rewarded with, when they call everlasting life. Like, that's supposed to be in heaven, but these people were living like centuries. You know what I'm saying? Centuries on top of centuries. This dude seen 3 centuries. Like, it's crazy. 3 centuries and like 6 decades. But Enoch lived 365 years and was the 7th man to have existed since the creation of Adam. So to me, I'm like, whoa, that's weird. 365 and 7. Of course, those numbers stand out to me because, 365 days in a year, 7 days a week. I don't know what the connection is, but I'm just saying those things stand out to me. So, I'll just point them out. But if you think about it all, though, if everyone came from one man, one woman, and the discovery of civilization or humans was to be found in Africa, to me, aren't we practically all related? I mean, I know nobody want to hear that. They want us to keep thinking like it's us and it's them, them and us and they and whatever, like that separation, division. They love that because it's power in division and separation. They can control us better. But like literally, we're pretty much the same, other than the region of the parts of the earth that we lived in or whatever, and or was born in, and that's what changes over time, and then our culture and things like that. But other than that, at the root of it all, as far as humans go, like we're all related practically, and we're all African. I know some people really don't want to hear that, but it is what it is. Um, so I mean, let's see where we at right here. Enoch was one of 2 of the people in the Bible who were taken straight to heaven. They had the opportunity to bypass death. Like, God said, you guys are so dope. Y'all so awesome. Y'all did everything I needed you to do. And you're so faithful that you don't even have to worry about dying. You don't have to feel that, death come upon you, feel yourself getting old. And, I'm just going to go ahead and take you right to heaven. But let me tell you something. 365 years of living, like, you should be ready to go. I'm just saying, that's a lot of time. I don't know how good you look, but that's a lot of time. 365 years. Woo! A lot of time. But Elijah was known as the prophet. Okay, I just need to put that out there because I put it in there. I'm going to put it out there. Okay. But very good, faithful servants of God who both were able to escape death and go straight to heaven. Okay. So, just, connecting this to, the street that the Melanie Yates died on, which is Enoch. Like, it's just very coincidental how it all ties together. She's reading the Bible and gets shot by a stray bullet and died. And then she, lived on Enoch, which, Enoch in biblical terms is a very, you know, faithful servant of God who was dedicated and who was rewarded like straight passage into heaven and didn't have to worry about dying. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just such a good servant. So I don't know. Just the way that, Channel 32 is very Luciferian. Like, it's so crazy because I went on Cody to, like, look up a TV show on Fox, and I went to their network, and on the top of the list of shows was, like, guess. Just guess. Yeah, take a moment. Can you guess what TV show? Lucifer. Lucifer was the TV show that was on the top of the list. Like, it's not even in alphabetical order. There's so many letters that come before L. Like, why Lucifer have to be at the top of the list? It's just like they're really pushing that agenda forward. So this is why, like I said, I feel like it's like a jab, like a shade. You know what I'm saying? Like, they coming for God's people with this news report. Maybe I'm taking it too far. I don't know, but this is just my thoughts. Okay, you can take it or leave it. It's up to you. But Luciferian Fox 32 is reporting it in a sense like they're making it sound like, that Melanie's faith in God is the reason why she got killed by a straight bullet. I mean, and maybe not saying like that's the reason why she got killed by the straight bullet, but that, like, you spend all your time being good, worshiping, reading the Bible, and you can die, like, any moment. And, it's like you waste your time, doing that. And for what? It's like they're trying to push fear and deter a lot of, Christians and, believers away. And, like, just like a hint of that in that report to me. I mean, that's just what I feel. And it's like they're pushing fear and this narrative of, like, God can't save you. Like, God, you read your Bible and, you get a bullet to come in and kill you. And it's like, it's like blasphemous. It's kind of like, I just don't understand. I don't know. But those are my thoughts, pretty much. I mean, that's the gist of it, But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but He has given us the spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. God bless Melanie's soul. Hopefully that is resting in peace and that her family find peace and justice in her passing, untimely passing. And other than that, I say Christians, people of God, children of God, keep your eyes open. Stay strong. Stay steadfast like God love is for us. And, don't be swayed, by all this craziness going on. Because it seems like, the devil is winning, but he's not. He's not. As long as there's good people out there and there's people who believe and who can see, clear minds. We need clear minds. Even in the middle of craziness, confusion, destruction, we need clear minds to be able to see. So this is me reading in between the lines the way I do, putting things together the way I do. They may not even connect, they may do. You could take the information that I put out there and, like I said, do what you see fit with it. But other than that, I appreciate you for taking the time to stop by and listen to what I have to say. Have a great day. Be blessed. Be a blessing. Bye-bye.